We've been dealing with that stubborn belly fat. Yeah. Is yours going away? I think you might want to consider this. If you have been having trouble with belly fat and you're over 40, having hormonal issues, then let's consider the alternative in the meantime that we can have in control of taking action right now by ourselves and continue on the journey of losing the belly fat. Yeah, I know. It is killing me. I'm with you. It's stubborn, that extra flap that's hanging over your waistline of the jeans, the pants, anything, right? Or is it looking like you have this pregnancy look, maybe of 4 to 6 months? Or are you hanging on to the bloat, right? Hanging on to it every time you eat something, and it could be just fruit. Yeah, I'm frustrated too. But with the hormone changes that we're going through, the belly fat will continue, and we just have to get it under control, or at least to a point where we actually can get in our pants. So we know there's different types of fat that can be in your body. Some people call it brown fat. It is subcutaneous fat, which is really not harmful, but there's that visceral fat that is harmful to the rest of our organs. It wraps around your organs, and when we're going through the change, that visceral fat can be dangerous where it is in our belly. And there could be layers before you get to the visceral fat. Right? I mean, we are so complicated. I don't know what to say. We are a complicated group of people, us women. And I'm thinking maybe you haven't considered a couple of things on a natural level, right? And we're trying to figure out what we can do within our power, something that we can have a little bit comfort in life, right? Not only is the diet very important, but it does play a huge role, as you know, when dealing with our changes. We have to eat differently. You can't eat like going through the drive-through, getting that junk food, getting that cheeseburger and fries that we used to do for many years, right? Because I did it. You can't do it. Get out of that drive-through. We cannot eat all those horrible fats, those oils, right? Those trans fat oils, right? We can't do it. And it does play a role. We can't do the processed foods like we used to, the sugar. If you're used to having a treat, that's okay, but you can do things to cut into the calorie uptick. For instance, instead of like doing the peanut butter or almond butter, these things can be very high in calorie, even though they're a good fat, but it can get us in trouble where we just keep hanging on to the weight and hanging on to the belly fat if we have too much of that fat. So instead of that, maybe you want to try like peanut butter powder. I have peanut butter powder, even a chocolate peanut butter powder, and that cut half the calories at least. So I think it went from 150 to 60 calories of a tablespoon of almond butter. I instead took the peanut butter powder, mixed that a little bit with water, and boom, that was about 70 calories. And it was still a good fat, but also you were getting more protein when it is a powder. We have to think of the alternative. Are you eating your protein throughout the day at different meal times instead of just one time in the day? Our body needs time to break it down. If we're already having problems with our digestion, our gut health, right? And that plays a huge role that affects us not only with the belly fat, but throughout the body of health in general. The gut, it sets the example for every other issue that we have going on in our body. But don't take it from me. Check your research, check with your doctors or health practitioners, and hopefully a holistic type of practitioner, and they can work with you on the diet that you really need to be on. Something that is considered anti-inflammatory type of foods. We are inflamed, and these symptoms of the belly fat, the bloating, symptoms of moodiness, can't sleep, right? All coming from the gut. We hold our emotions in the gut. It can affect everything. The stress levels, the cortisol levels, all that going up, and anxiety, all these things, these symptoms of menopause and perimenopause, which by the way could last forever. I think I've been in perimenopause at least 8 to 10 years, because I remember when my hot flashes started in my cycle, and I was in my 30s and I was having night sweats. So I knew things were changing, just didn't know how to explain it to myself, but also didn't get the answers from my primary doctors, OBGYNs even. And it was frustrating. And I know it could be frustrating for you. One thing I will say, that the one thing, maybe you haven't considered it, I've talked about it on the channel numerous times, but maybe I didn't stress it. The one main thing I would say is, are you taking your probiotics religiously? Maybe even have to add in enzymes. Enzymes are very good for you to help you break down the food and help you from the bloating and that water retention. So I'll show you what I'm taking actually. So if you can see that, this is PB8 and I'm taking this probiotic. I take it every night before I go to bed and it is great. I keep it in the refrigerator. It's for storage, and it has 8 strains of beneficial bacteria, and it's like 14 billion active cultures that are in it. And that's what your gut needs, you know, that good flora that will help move things along, but also break it down. But it has been proven, there's studies on this about probiotics, that it can cut almost 50% of belly fat loss more than someone that is not taking a probiotic. So I would encourage you to make sure you are if you haven't been. So I take enzymes, and I used to take this as well in my 20s and 30s. This sounds weird. When I was getting colonics on a regular basis, my colon therapist, is that what they call them? I don't know. But she had recommended this enzyme and I totally forgot about it. I wasn't taking it for the last, I don't know, 8-9 years. This is something that you take with food. So usually at the beginning of mealtime, I'm taking this. I don't know if you can see this, Similase. And this is from Integrative Therapeutics. I trust this group. I get this on Amazon, and it's a digestive enzyme. And so you eat it with your meals at the beginning of the meals, preferably. Sometimes I forget it and I take it right after I had the meal. So either way, it feels like I'm in the right direction. So that will help with the bloating and that retention, that water retention you might be gaining when you have a meal. Because why? Because our liver is not functioning properly, and this is another major sign of menopause and perimenopause that we need to really look at detoxing the liver. There are a ton of supplements to assist you in a liver cleanse, or you can do it naturally. And I think I can find that link about liver cleanses and how you can do it naturally with just simple products in your kitchen. If the liver is not detoxing everything that you put in your body in a way that is healthy for it, that is functioning in the right way, then you're just holding everything. So everything's going into fat storage instead of turning into fuel, right? And we need fuel to burn it and burn the fat. If we just continue to having these issues with our liver and our gut, then how are we gonna get rid of the belly fat and feel better and have a better quality of life? One last thing I'll leave with you is intermittent fasting does help, but I would suggest if you are not a veteran faster that you just start with a 16-8. And so you have 8 hours in the day to actually get in the 3 meals. Maybe you're not snacking. Some people do need to snack. That's okay. It all depends where you are in your health journey and what you need to adjust, tweak, or customize. And so you have to look at some meal plans that will work for you. Maybe it's all plant-based. Maybe it's putting more animal proteins in your diet. There are so many versions of diets. I cannot tell you which direction works for you until I actually would know your background, your genetics, your lifestyle, Also, what kind of things you do at home. Are you a person that cooks at home every day? Are you a person that needs to eat out a couple of times a week, but you can incorporate still these healthy meal plan types that you can find at, say, healthy restaurants? So there's a lot of things that you can do to adjust a good meal plan for yourself. But to get this belly fat off, these are some things that I use, and I'm hoping that you have considered it if you're not already doing it anyway. And those probiotics will certainly help with the belly fat. If you like to reach out and have any questions for me, please do email me, and you can reach me through my website at regedited.com, and you can reach me through Instagram as well. Instagram and I have a love-hate relationship, and there are sometimes I have to take a break. And you guys understand that taking a break is very important for our stress levels, so important for what we're going through right now. And there may be times that I may drop off and maybe not have a video 1 week, but just know that I will always return. And I'm not leaving anywhere right now, but if there are times that maybe the subject is not appropriate for my channel, I just don't record it. You know what I mean? And I think that you guys understand that it's good for the soul, the body, the spirit to get quiet and pray or meditate. But basically, I pray with God and talk with Him. And it's just a good thing to disconnect from the world, because we only live in it. We're just a guest, and we don't have to be of the world. And when we do those things, the stress levels will come down. I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, you can always begin again. Until the next video. Cheers. Why am I hot flashing? Well, I know why I'm hot flashing, okay? It's called menopause. Yay! We're in menopause.